other motion graphics on our videos. This is specifically for Premiere Pro, and so I'm going to talk to you about the Premiere Rush in another video. First, go to the module and in the class and download the News Lower Third. It would be Lower Third 1 that is located there. That'll show up in your Downloads folder. From there, what I want you to do is to copy it or move it to your project folder, which should look like this. I'm going to be moving it into the graphics folder. Specifically, yours will be called News Lower Third 1. So that'll be copied into the graphics folder. You don't have to have all these extra folders like I have in mine. Sorry, this is the graphics folder. Yours could just be located within the graphics folder. Once you've done that, you're going to go to the screen or the video that you want to add your piece to. Normally you're going to be in the editing workspace, so it looks like this. What I want to do is I want to put my playhead where I want my lower third to start. And normally that is at the beginning of the first time that someone speaks, and only the first time that each person speaks. So I'm going to be placing it on V3. So first, let's go into the graphics workspace. Now I need to import my motion graphic. So I'm going to click this icon down here. Then I'm going to go to my project template folder or my project folder. And then remember that I put my graphic, my motion graphic, into the graphics folder. Mine does happen to be a little bit deeper than yours will be, but it's the News Lower Third 1. Click Open. And then they appear in alphabetical order here. So you can see that my News Lower Third 1 came in right here. Now what I do is I drag it onto my timeline, but I want to put it in V3. Nothing else should be in V3. Also, normally when I let go, I would have like a longer, well, I'd have a red screen, which always is kind of scary, but then I'd also have a longer dialog box that said that it was importing this. It won't take as long because I've done it once before. This can take a minute or so the first time through, but after you've done it once, then it doesn't take as long. So you can see here, you've got my face, so I should be identifying myself. But as I go forward here, I'm going to play this for you.
Different. I want you to get.
This is what it ends up looking like, and you do see you have some motion. Obviously, I'm not Dr. Matthew Kramer, so we have to change that. That's just the standard text that's on this one. First, I have to click on News Lower Third, and then because I'm still in graphics, this edit shows up. Now, this is not breaking news. This normally will never be used, that breaking news thing, so I'm just going to click this, and it'll disappear, okay? So I want to make sure that I open up Text 1 settings and then click Text 1 on off. I want that unchecked. I'm going to close it again. Then I'm going to go to Text 2. I click the twirly right here. And this is where the text goes. I do want to put this in all caps because that's how these look best. So I'm hitting my caps lock and I'm just going to type in my name because that happens to be me on the screen there. I do want this to be in Montserrat and bold. Please leave the font the same. Normally with this big of one, you're not going to have to worry about resizing, but if you did have to resize, you could do that through here. Now it was at 100, so I want to leave it at 100. Okay, so there's that. I don't worry about the color, although this would give me like a different colored text on top of a white bar, but that will leave the same. The next thing that we'll do is we go into Text 3, and that'll give me a title at the bottom here. So my title might be English Teacher. We'll leave the font the same. And then this time we want English Teacher to stay white, but I want to change the shape behind it into an orange color. So let's choose a color right now. Let's choose something a little bit more interesting. Let's just call it DE5F00. So that's the number that I'm going to be using. And I better write that down because I'm going to tell you guys that later on. So DE 5F00. That's right there. I click OK. And now you can see we've got a school color kind of thing going on with the orange. And there you have it. If I were to play it, this is what it looks like.
They're always different. I watch people get excited about their work when I do it.
So this is going to stay that way. Now, if you notice, this goes farther than it should. So because there's not a whole lot of motion that we need to worry about here, we can actually just make it disappear by itself. So I'm just going to drag this to the beginning of the first B-roll clip and then leave it just disappear by itself. So
They're always different. I watch people get excited about their work when I do it. So it's really cool to sit down and talk them through the process.
now if you want to actually see something, so I'm teaching you something new here. So this is done. So if you just want to know how to do it, that's how you do it. But if you ever get to the point where you're really irritated by how jumpy something looks, like that one looked really glitchy. I know that's like the term you guys use, but basically it was just needs to be rendered. I'm going to render, I selected everything. I'm going to render the selection here. This line right here is going to turn from red to green. And this takes a little bit of time. But when I'm done with it, it'll play back smoothly.